Those bulls are busy, busy dudes.
There's some moose grunting happening. There's some shots happening. Some moose hopefully going down.
Some happening.
The best reward is you get your moose meat and some good memories to share with friends.
Argo How to Hunt is brought to you by Argo XTV. Go anywhere. And these fine sponsors.
Welcome to How to Hunt. This is part 2 of our moose episode. Last episode, you saw the craziest shot in the world where an arrow came out the same side. We got Louis DeBrust shooting a moose, which was awesome. And this episode's going to be pretty entertaining. We've got a few more interactions with moose that's going to be pretty cool. We watched your footage last episode calling, and then, compared to me calling, let's talk about calling a moose and how you do it and how we're totally different.
Yeah, and I think it really comes down to the area you're in. Some places have low density moose, some places have high density moose. So that could change it. And it also could change as to, if you're hunting the bowzone, you're around people, you're around farms. It's a much more, I wouldn't say educated moose, but it's just a different wild moose compared to mine that are in BC that, it's not like they're gonna know. Right.
Sure.
So It is, you got to understand where you're at.
Yeah. I think that for me, I like listening to the sounds people make.
Yeah.
Like just the different sound that comes out of me, that comes out of you.
Yep. I like your pause. I honestly like your pause because I've been very fortunate to hear cows calling in the wild, which sometimes you can go years without hearing them.
Yeah.
But yours is very close because it's kind of like, and it stops. Definitely different calling. You're going to see a lot of that. There's a moose grunting happening. There's some shots happening. Some moose hopefully going down.
Some happening.
Stay tuned, guys. Coming up next.
Okay, an update. So we called in a cow and, there was no bull behind her, which was kind of a surprise. And we've been chasing photos. Now, we get a few photos a day of bulls that are just either in the evening or the morning or in the middle of the night, a lot in the night. And then we go to those spots thinking we're going to run into those bulls. Let me tell you something. I think it's a rarity. Those bulls are busy, busy dudes. They're busy doing stuff and they hit the camera and they keep going like that quarter, the next quarter, the next quarter. That's why sitting in a stand and just trying relaxing and enjoying your evening or your morning and just calling away. So I can't wait to get out there and just sit in the stand, put my heels back and call moose again. And if we're lucky, the meat wagon might walk in grunting and giving up the heart, liver, and everything else that we enjoy. So let's go get one. Okay, I just climbed down. Just shouldered him. Shouldered a big bull moose. After 2 weeks trying, bull came in perfect. I think he must have been closer than I thought. And my arrow was high. That's I have really no excuse except for I'm just a human being like everybody else. But I'm gutted, and I feel like it's time for me to quit. I don't know what to do.
Okay, so we've come back to camp here and kind of regrouped a little bit and watched the video really closely, but I can take you through the steps that I did that were mistakes so you don't make the same mistakes. The bull came in grunting to my left, came right underneath me at 25 yards, 20 yards. You can see where I stopped the moose, and when I stopped him, he actually hit a spot where there was no lane. So then my brain went into like total panic mode. And you can see as soon as he starts to walk and he walks into a lane, I shoot right away. So there's a big mistake there. I should never have shot right away. I should have either tried to stop him again or just waited until he stopped again, made a little noise, and he would have stopped and turned and looked back up, and then I would have had a perfectly clean shot. So the mistake was on me 100%. So that's why the shot was high and it wasn't in the right spot.
Stream all your favorite episodes of How to Hunt at wildtvplus.ca.
Well, I shouldered a moose.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw that. I saw that. And that's probably one of the most. I have not shouldered moose, but I have made bad shots on an animal.
Yeah.
And anybody who's bow hunted long enough has done it, if not done it multiple times.
When you got the video, it's really handy because you can go back and you can see where and how, and in the video you can see where the arrow hit, and you can see blood coming out. And then I don't want to give all of it away, but there is a little more information coming in the show that will be even more interesting that we can give away. But telling the truth too, right? Like I tell the truth on what happens on the hunts, and I really don't ever make anything up on any of the hunts. And this is just part of the truth. And the truth was, he comes in, hits a lane that I can't shoot. And if you watch the video of me shooting from the GoPro, you can just see the wheels turning, man. Like they're just turning full speed. For someone to be able to be completely ice cold the whole time and just be very, very patient when those opportunities come and do everything 100% right. Like it's hard.
Very hard.
It's not easy. And I made a mistake and put it right in the shoulder. So, and that was just because just so excited. 2 weeks grinding it out. Here's my chance. This might be my only chance all season. This is it. This is the moose for a year. The other thing that you can stack on, that's my meat for a year. And I'm pretty serious about that. Like, it's great to make a video. It's great to put it out there. It's great to have the kill. All these things are I'm really fortunate to be able to go outside and do this. Like, super fortunate. But actually, number one is that is what I feed my family with every year. So that moose has to
I know. And
we got to eat them.
I know, especially now with rising costs. But no, meat's so important, and there's just that added pressure to it. And you look back, and you're like, man, maybe I would have done this differently and done that differently. And we've talked about this. You could do a bunch of things differently, but there's still all these other things that could still happen and go wrong, right?
Sure, yeah.
You do your practice. You make sure your lanes are good. You make sure that you're gonna stop them. You make sure you're gonna anchor. But then it's like, what if he doesn't stop right at the lane? But you have a little bit, and you can sneak it in. But then it hits a leaf.
Even if I had more patience in the situation that I was in, the speed that he was kind of moving at, and he was so revved, and he was basically just ripping through to try and find this cow that was making sounds, right? So I don't know what would happen. Maybe I would never have had a chance, but it's an opportunity, and it's what you do with that opportunity that really counts, right? So
the nice thing is that once you shoulder a moose, 99% of the time they're going to live, and you can call them back.
That's true.
You can keep calling, which is probably the most fun thing about moose hunting is just the calling and the different kinds of calls. And it's just such a wild noise. I remember like meeting friends that haven't hunted, and they'd be like, well, what's a moose sound like? And you do it. And then they're like, wait, you do that? And I'm like, yeah, it works.
Right.
They're like, so you're just sounding like a woman that wants to be a female cow that wants to be bred? Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Sound whiny, get really whiny.
Sure. Or the bull calls too, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And what do you use? Are you using a bull call? Are you using a cow
I
call?
know.
When do you
I
use a
know.
bull? When do you use a cow?
What I've noticed with that, and the one that made the difference for me, was if I knew a bull was getting into rut and had his area but wasn't with cows, that's when I started bull grunting. So I would walk in and just start smashing trees and just like, basically, we talk like real life scenario. He's in there, this is his house, and all of a sudden some dude's coming in, smashing all the trees in where he lives, where all his rut pits are.
Sure.
And then all of a sudden he starts grunting. He's like, that's not happening. And then comes in. But he's with cows. The problem with bull grunting with he's with a cow, you run the potential gamble that he could take his cows and leave. He could say, I don't want to fight that guy, I'm leaving. So if you do a cow call, he could potentially come in, but then you've also seen where you start cow calling and then the cow will call even more to drag that bull out. And then you're like mad at her because she's more whiny than you are because you can't compete with the real thing.
There's so many scenarios.
So many scenarios.
Yeah,
and
there's
every
so
time it happens, then your brain starts spinning and you're like, I thought I had that figured out.
The best part is the answer.
Yes.
Right?
Oh,
They
that
always, and it's kind of
when
rare
you
to
hear
be
that.
honest,
Whoa.
but when they do that noise and they start coming and you kind of know they're coming, and it's that's why you go outside. That's why I mean those are the moments, right? Those are the moments where I'm just like, this is the best thing in the world.
Yeah, no, it's a fun time. The nice thing is that you're still hunting. Even though you had a horrible situation, you're still hunting. You can still fill your freezer. Stay tuned, guys. Ryan's still in the stand, and I think something fun's going to happen.
Me too.
Well, I came into the spot this morning where I actually got a photo of that bull that I wounded and shot in the shoulder. I got a picture of him like after we shot him about an hour later, and then I got a picture from last night. He's still in the same area. It looks like he's chasing cows and running around pretty hard. I'm just wailing away. I mean, you got to call and call and call and call, and they just got to be in your radius. They just got to be able to hear you. They're so revved up right now that if they do hear you, they should come. And I'm in a different location than I was when I first shot him. So I think that if he did hear me, he'd come. He might come a little slower, but he'll still come. So I'm just going to keep on working it and keep on calling and just kind of hope for the best. Well, I got myself into a ladder stand, a double ladder. It's like the king's chair up here, overlooking this beautiful alfalfa field. Look at this. It's absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful fall, October night, October 6th or 7th tonight. And I'm not going to call. I'm just going to sit in this field and let the animals come in. There's been a couple of cows that have been coming in here in the evening. And the bull that I shot is around this area. So I needed to take a break from just calling every night. I was actually getting busy from wailing away in the evenings. And I just thought, you know what? Let's just sit at the food source and just sit quiet and do nothing and let the animals come by. Of course, if I see a moose, I'm going to call to it, but I'm just going to watch and sit on this perfect night. Some deer. It's just nice to see the deer. Hopefully a moose comes. He's totally toast in the field, but I don't think I got the video. I don't know. I turned the GoPro to where the moose was coming. I hit the record button, but I don't think I hit the record button. I'm totally embarrassed. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
Okay, so here's what happened. I shot this bull on video yesterday, and we shouldered him. It was a panic shot. It was a bad shot on my part. And then I went on my own tonight. I put the GoPro up thinking I was gonna see nothing, to be honest, and then hit the GoPro, and the GoPro died in 3 seconds. I didn't know it was dead. I thought it was running, and then I just grabbed my camera really fast when he just died in the field, basically. So I called him in from, I don't know, 80 yards. I could hear him breaking branches, and I called him in. I was actually, didn't think he'd come at all from this direction, but he did, and it's the same bull that we shot the day before, or the morning before, so that's pretty awesome. So I got 2 chances at him, and you can see here that there's a wound here, and this is probably the most interesting part, is like, what did that arrow do when I hit him in the shoulder? And it looks to me like, you know, basically like nothing. I can feel the broadhead blade, oh, I can feel, and the shoulder right there, the bone right there. So you can feel that it went in as far as my finger and hit the shoulder blade and stopped dead. And the arrow came right out. There's no broadhead in there. There's no piece of broadhead in there, nothing. It basically bounced off of him. So that's amazing. It was a perfect night in a beautiful alfalfa field. I honestly didn't think he was gonna come at all. I was super surprised from the direction he came from too. And I just got lucky hearing a couple twigs break and then calling in that direction. And then sure enough, he came right to me at 30 yards. I made a perfect double lung hit. At the end of the day, the best part is we have a whole bunch of meat in the freezer, and it's gonna feed our family for a full season. So pretty happy, real special place to be able to hunt moose in, and 2.5 weeks of grinding. If you just keep to it, then, you know, it usually pays off. Well, we're back, and this is the way more fun part of the episode for me, because the same moose that I shouldered came back, and I got an arrow into him.
So when it came out, did you know right away that's the moose? Like, because you said it stepped out and then you called it in or something, I think, if I remember.
I think like what happened was I was in the stand, and I was, you know, I really didn't think I was going to see another moose, like, at all. I just thought there was no way.
Well, even just how you were filming yourself, you're just like, this is just, I'm not going to call. You're like at peace.
Yeah, I was done. I thought, you know, I had my chance, and I didn't think I'd see anything else. So I was just kind of really sitting back. I got this ladder stand in this one spot, and it's like really comfortable. It's really nice, really comfortable. And you can just kind of watch nature in it and not really think too hard. And I guess all the stands you can do that in, but for whatever, this one's like a couch. So I was just up there chilling out, and then I could just hear like stuff breaking and sticks, and you just know when it's a moose, you know what I mean? And you could hear him like raking the trees and doing stuff, moosey, ruddy stuff. And I thought, okay, here we go. I'll just call once, right? Hit the GoPro, and the GoPro didn't work, which is really too bad. And actually that really irks me, because I was, when I was shooting him, I was getting into the GoPro. Like, you got to get into the frame. So a lot of time when you're filming yourself, it's so hard to film yourself, right? So you're doing all these extra little things to get into the video, and the GoPro unfortunately died. But no, he came perfect right beside me. The shot was absolutely perfectly lethal right through the lungs, and I knew just for a split second when I saw him coming, I thought, oh, maybe it's him.
But you were just focused on
But I didn't know until we double checked and got pictures, and like, we got some really good Moultrie pictures of him from a week before. And so that's how we could check, right?
Gotcha.
We looked at the video from before, but that took time. But it was him. So,
and the cool thing is like, I mean, the chances are, the fact that you end up shooting him, but just even to know then to answer the questions of what that arrow did to the shoulder.
Happens when you shoulder moose,
right?
And
then you could see it like, oh, it went in this far, and then that's why you're probably only get that much blood on your arrow.
I mean, it went in this far.
Really?
That's it. Yeah, I saw
your index finger, you can see the blood.
Yeah, so
on your foot,
on your there, and then I hit the shoulder with my finger, and he keeps running away, right? And then he stands there for, you know, another 15 minutes because he's not hurt, grunting at us and calling at us. So thank you.
I know.
Thank you for that. I needed that. It was tough. It was like 3 weeks of hunting, and I go pretty hard. Like, I probably take it, you know, further than most people. I go really hard. We'll hunt every single day, and we'll work really, really hard. And I have the time to do it. Super fortunate to be able to have the time to do it. But yeah, getting a moose in the bowzone is actually like it's a real tough thing to do. Sometimes you get lucky and they just come in on day 2 and you get lucky, but other times it can take, you know, 3 weeks to do it.
I think too, filming an animal when it's dropping is so satisfying, and it's like you want to like respect the animal, but I think just the satisfaction that you know that it's over. If you're in a bigger field, so you had the opportunity, but usually if they run in, like it's really lucky.
I've never had a moose do that.
No.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, I've seen them drop
Yeah.
in the woods usually.
But even the
But
way
this one just was on the edge of the field.
I gotcha.
And so I
And he
shot him on the edge,
ran in.
and then that was the only place for him to run, I guess.
Yep.
And then he just died in the field. So
Yep.
perfect. You
Yep.
know, you could drive into the field with a truck and pick him up and bam. So
Yep.
that was pretty awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Guys, thanks so much for watching How to Hunt. We're talking about moose. Hopefully you learned something. There's a lot of hard things when it comes to bow hunting, when it comes to hunting moose. And the best reward is you get your moose meat and some good memories to share with friends. Stay tuned for next episode.
Argo How to Hunt is brought to you by Argo XTV. Go anywhere. And these fine sponsors.